another game where we just couldn't get over the hump. I thought our defense, they presented some problems. Very physical basketball team, one of the top teams in the country, getting fouled. Kind of reminds me of, our first team when we first got here, by how physical they were, how they put pressure on the rim, got to the free throw line. I thought the 1-3-1 gave them some problems. We struggled, which you're going to struggle to rebound out of it. They got a lot of offensive rebounds, a little misleading. It didn't turn them into points, fortunately. But I thought we did a good job of keeping them off balance. But 48% the first half, 34% the second half. Outside of Joey Hart, our backcourt went 6 for 25, and that's several games in a row where we just haven't been able to put the ball in the hole. We got to continue to work, continue to teach, continue to pour into this team, and try to help these guys get over the hump. But you can't. We had, I think 7 layups the second half. We didn't convert. Just got to continue to put these guys in positions to be successful. We believe in them, obviously, at a high level. Just keep working with them, keep teaching, try to keep them, keep putting ourselves in position to win games, and hopefully we'll get over the hump.
Yeah, kind of to start with Joey Hart, what have you seen from him in really his first 2 games back that has got him, this success so far?
Well, he's a talented kid, and I still don't think he's where he's capable of being. I don't think he's in game shape yet. Um, he's got to continue to improve defensively, but another very efficient night. Like when you look at plus minuses, Preston's +2, Joey's +4, and Joey played 33 minutes. So in 7 minutes without Joey on the floor, we lost by 9 points. So I think that shows how important he is. Obviously, his ability to score, make a basket. Hopefully we can get some other guys to join him and put ourselves in position to win games.
Yeah, you talk about the other guard play and, shots not falling. How do you go about kind of keeping their spirits up when that happens?
You just got your confidence comes from the work. You got to trust your work. You got to make sure you're doing the work. I think one important thing that I've picked up just in talking with these guys and meeting with these guys, the value of being where your feet are, and not getting caught up in what's next, worrying about what's next, or trying to do things to get you to what's next. Just really being appreciative and valuing where your feet are. And I think when you do that, it can kind of take some of the pressure that you somehow are putting on yourself, or maybe others in your circle are putting on you. You can't really appreciate, enjoy what you're doing if you're always worried about what's next. And I think we got some guys that just need to flush some of that and really concentrate on being, where their feet are. And I think that'll help their performance a great deal.
You kind of mentioned on the radio, I know the late inbounds turnover, a few missed layups. Do you think that is kind of because of that, guys worrying about the next shot instead of where they're at?
I think that's part of it. I think guys, we still let mistakes mount and carry over. The I didn't see the exchange with Joey and Davion. I didn't, I saw Joey was popping open, and I started looking at the secondary defenders and seeing if it was going to formulate to what we had planned. And I liked what we had set up there. It had been successful. I like putting pressure like what we had set up there, and then obviously we fumbled it. So there was a possession right before that. Drew it up twice in a huddle, just execution, like just your mind. Where's your mind? And some of it, you can't be worrying about other things within the game, but kind of being where your feet are. Zach, I'm talking about like being appreciative here and not worrying about what's next. Because if you're not doing it here, next ain't happening. So you better just appreciate what you got here. um, and worry about those things, fixing here. If you do here well, it will lead to what's next. But I think we're trying to skip steps, and I think it's mounting in our guys' minds. Um, and they worry way too much about it. And then when mistakes do happen, which basketball is a game of mistakes, you're going to make a lot of them. It compounds because we're worrying about the wrong things.
When you talk about worrying about what's next, do you think that's kind of an individual mindset some of these guys have rather than the bigger like team picture?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, I know Copeland and Fish had a few productive minutes today. Fish has been battling an injury. What do you kind of like their progress so far, especially with multiple fouls today?
Yeah, they put pressure on you because of their bigs, how they play. They're very physical. I thought, Preston does a great job. I mean, what, 10 and 8? I'll sign me up for 10 and 8 from a freshman post player rest of the season. Sign me up. I think Fish is continuing to grow in his role, and he's getting better and better as he's working through and getting healthier. Um, like obviously Cam not being out there changes some rotations. We're putting some heavy minutes on Mason. But Mason he plays hard. He plays hard. He competes. He's about the right things. So it puts some heavy minutes on him, which is not necessarily fair to him. But we got to get our backcourt producing the way that they're capable of producing.
Yeah. And then final two things, kind of what's Cam's timeline looking like? I haven't asked for a minute.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks. Like it was a pretty gnarly injury, so it's a pain thing. He's a tough kid, so like if he could get out there, he'll get out there. He's not there yet. So
And then last thing, 1-8 in your guys' last 9 games, and your next game starts max season. Kind of what do you want to see this team kind of work on between now and then?
well, I think we're improving in some areas. I think, but I'm happy with some of the growth that this team has had. I think we've improved in some areas, um, just not enough in enough areas to equate to wins. And like when we take one step forward in an area, we take a step back somewhere else. And just being able to put a complete 40 minutes together has proven to be really difficult. I mean, we held a team to 30. I mean, those guys average like 85 points a game. We held them to 69. Our defense isn't great, but it's good enough to win games. We just got to get more consistent production out of some guys.